I love these calls for a couple reasons. I love seeing how different people connect because it's so different. I got hit on today by a guy in the US Army, which is fantastic. Hey, babe, why so angry? I was like, dude, anyway. But it's true, it was awesome. We all deal with people differently. We all connect differently. And Christa being a medium to new coach, I like to see how she does it again, because everybody is totally different. So looking forward to it, Christa. Knock it out of the park. Go ahead. Yeah. Shots.
The best excuse for day drinking, I swear. My internet is totally glitchy, so I apologize. Apparently that's in my throat. But so for those that don't know me, my name's Christa, and I'm sort of new. But the thing that I fell in love with and that I needed to stay on with is the building the relationships. I felt like I couldn't sustain this or even make money if I wasn't being authentic to myself. And there are some coaches that do it different and they find great success in it. And for me, this is what works for me. So hopefully you get something out of it. But basically the whole, I'm going to just focus most of the power hour on connecting. And I feel that a couple of reasons. One is that it makes you feel genuine. I don't go looking for people with dollar signs in my eyes. I don't. I go looking for friends. I'm at home. I'm a total extrovert. I am on mat leave. And I find that when you're looking to be genuine and finding people that are authentic to you, it feels great. And it just, in turn, it will be authentic and the money will come because of it. People will trust you. So I'm not concerning myself with the product. I'm concerning myself with building friendships. So that's how I do it. And if I can do it the fastest and the most efficient way, I'm like a joy and positive junkie. So if I can spread joy as much as humanly possible, that is the goal. That is the goal. Period. Right? And yeah, so a couple of things just for new coaches, a couple of the tricks that I find over the past little while that have been helpful are two things. One is text replacement. Many coaches use it and it is fantastic for things that you do repetitively and you just spread the joy faster. And comments that you make that your catchphrases, right? There's no sense in retyping the same catchphrase over and over again. So I'll walk you through how to find text replacement on your devices. I have an iPhone. Those people that are Samsung people will have to Google. I think Melinda, you use Samsung, right?
I have a Google phone, but it's basically the same.
Okay, so that when we get to that. And voice notes. So I know my coach, Megan, she is the bomb on voice notes. And I find that for me, I need a quiet space for my own brain. So I often will resort to typing, but if you can, whenever possible, just be as genuine as possible by using voice notes. People really want to just hear, they want to hear you, right? They don't want to just, they're infiltrated with information all day long. So if you can give them, personality and you, it goes a long way. And really at the bottom line, both you as a consumer and you as a human, the only thing that people are purchasing ever is trust. That's what you're selling. That's what people are buying. Think of any product, right? So when you have people that trust you explicitly, and that means just walking the walk all the time. So when I walk through my things, you'll see, if you go through my Facebook, my Instagram, you talk to people at my job, you talk to my family, I am the same person. So when you're posting things, and this, just keep this in mind, because there are people that are watching you that you don't even know are watching you. I had in the past 24 hours. I've had 4 people reach out to me that never said a word to me on social media. They are just watching me like a hawk, and what they're doing, you're posting not for that person. You are to say, you know, that's one person though. But when you're posting on someone else's, making comments on other people's posts, you're really building the trust of all of their audience, all of your audience, because they're watching you and seeing if your thoughts and your positivity align, right? So you're not necessarily posting for you, you're posting for the prospect of other people in your future. So with that, let's get started. So I use Siri, is my main jam, and I use her to time me. It is important, just as Melinda said, right, to time block certain things. Is my internet glitchy for you guys? Yes. No, it's all good? Okay, perfect. So as a new coach, as you connect more, you're going to have more followers. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with thanking the people that have followed you. And we're going to spend most of our time in Instagram. And any chance that you can get to connect with somebody, you can leave an impression on who you are as a person is ultimately the best. And really, you want to make people feel good. That's our job. People need it right now. They're feeling cooped up and they're feeling isolated from humans. So if you can make them feel great, all the better. Okay, so we're going to start in Instagram, and you may not have a lot of followers right now, so I'm not going to you have a huge time block on it. But if you go to your followers, okay, so you're just going to go up to your followers. Okay, sorry. You're going to go to your little airplane. And you should see messages of people that have followed you.
Watch it yourself.
Okay. So when I click on people that have followed me, I thank them for my follows. Let's see, don't have a lot of followers right now. So what I do is I leave a very quick message, and I just basically say, thank you so much for following me. If you have a group to follow, if you're running a challenge group or anything like that, that's a time to say, you know, thank you so much for following me. I see you and I appreciate you. I'm running a group. I run a group on empowering women that we we talk about wellness, that sort of thing. Anything that you can drop in a message for them, it's one extra connection inside their message. So I'm going to give you guys maybe 4 minutes just to time yourself on going back to your followers. And I'm going to type the message in the chat on what I do to say thanks. I'm going to start the timer. Hey Siri, start a 4-minute timer, please.
You just set my Siri.
Is there something else I can help?
Perfect.
Are you okay?
And while you guys are doing that, for those people that don't have a lot of followers, I'm just going to show you how to do text replacement. If you go to your settings and you scroll down to general, it's a bit of a labyrinth, I will say. Google is a great help to remind you, but if you go to general and then you click keyboard, which is about halfway down, you'll see text replacement. I text replace my thank you notice, and I have 2. I have one that I use for people that know me and that have been following me that haven't been following me for a little while, that have just been watching me but haven't really been doing much, or that I've known them for a long time in career-wise, just say thanks for joining me. Great to connect with you. So this is somebody that would be like a long-standing colleague. I might still mention them, but I already see them. I already know them. I'll put that here.
What do we do? I was hoping you knew.
So that's my short, quick, and brief one. And then I have one that is longer.
I really like you, honest, but Reed and Steve, they made me betray you. Just to win this stupid game. You have to believe me.
No, I really don't.
Oh well, it was worth a shot. Bye.
Forget it. Let's find that tree.
Win the game.
And get back home.
I'm just going to share my screen super quick because Angela just asked. We're on Instagram. If you're on a laptop, it's a big time saver. I don't know if you guys can see it. If you just go to your airplane on like Instagram.com, you can now message people. You don't have to use like a third-party app like Flume.
I don't have that.
Oh, on your laptop?
No. Could it be like somebody, like depending on how many followers you have or something?
I don't have that many.
Like I have the.
No, you might just have to update your maybe update your operating system. Yeah.
All right, I'll continue and then I'll keep typing on that on my last thank you. So the second thing that I would do is make sure that you're responding to all comments and likes. Not necessarily focusing your attention on coaches already. They know that they love you. It is important to respond to every single person that you have, anybody that has given you comments on your posts, because other people. So yes, you will have other coaches that comment on you, but you want to make sure that you're really reaching out to those people that are commenting on you anyway, like otherwise, because your outside audience will start seeing how you respond. So this is the other place that you're going to build trust, because people are watching how you respond. Okay, so what I'll recommend is taking just 5 minutes and going to one of your most recent posts and taking a look at the comments that people have left you. And again, for new coaches, right, you're going to go to your post. Okay. And these are people that are also following you. They're watching you. So you want to make sure that you're doing this in an efficient manner. If you're doing it within, say, an hour of the time that you posted, you're going to eventually be in the front lines of your people that are watching you, right? So you're going to start popping up in their feed more. Okay, so you want to add some comments there. So just, just be authentic. Just comment on what they've responded to you by. Okay. And I'm going to give just 5 minutes to that. Hey Siri, put 5-minute timer, please. And if you have to flip into Facebook, you can do that too. That's another place to go. But your posts, these are the people that are watching you. Did you have a question, Mike?
No, I was saying goodbye to Joanna.
Oh, hi, Joe. Okay, thank you. You're the best, buddy. And I'll just show new coaches as well. If you go into your post, you can see who has commented on you. But if you go to your heart, this is probably the most efficient way. You can then see all the people that have commented on your specific post. And if you're for time efficiency, you can just go in and like heart their comment back, and you can reply right in a concentrated area. So you don't have to go inside your post. This way, you'll also find where your followers are, and you can just go down and make sure that all of your love has been given in one spot. So that heart is there for a reason, to show all your love. Such a nice sound. Normally I have Justin Bieber blaring, so it's a good alternative. Okay, so those are two really basic ways to connect with your people that you already have. Another way is, and again, these are just people that are already following you. When you start accumulating more people that are following you, you're going to have their stories up above here. But the key thing is just like friendships, you don't want to leave people hanging, and you don't want to leave people for a long period of time that you haven't spoken to. So you want to build up the people that you haven't spoken to, as opposed to just recirculating and commenting on the same people all the time. And I know I get in the habit of doing that because Instagram's algorithm shows you the people up the close that are the people you talk to the most, or that you view their stories the most. What you want to do is you want to scroll all the way to the end of your little bubbles, okay, and start clicking on those people and show them some love. So these are people that actually have Instagram stories, and you can just click on one. So I'll click on this lovely lady here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look through her stories just really quickly. And I am going to comment on the first one that speaks to me. If it's not authentic and it's not something that you would gravitate towards, then don't leave a comment. So just go in, go out. She's got cute little kids. So I'm going to leave her a comment and say, oh, those guys are, look, they're growing up. They're getting so big. Right? So that way it's going to trickle in. So I'm just going to give you 5 minutes to connect with your bubbles, starting from the back. Don't give Justin Bieber love. He has enough love. Go for the people that could use some love.
But does he?
Fair point, fair point, fair point. Your love might get lost, let's just say.
Rachel, what are your boys doing?
Nothing. Would Milo like to play Roblox?
Okay.
Oh, and
Right.
my Blake keeps saying, Esme never friended me. She hasn't accepted my
3-minute
friend
timer.
request. He's Paper Towel Boss. That's his name.
Sorry, what's his name?
Paper Towel Boss.
Okay, on it. Thank you, Rachel. He plays with other kids who like.
His friends at school.
Oh, I was saying Milo has other friends he plays with who just play violent games, and they kill him with hammers and he doesn't. And I ran over and I just closed the game. I said, nope, you're not doing that.
Yeah, not playing that.
The boys don't like it either. It upsets them. So yeah.
Sorry, Christa.
No worries. I want in on this action too for my boys. Roadblocks. All right, note to self. See, this is why these calls are amazing, because you just learn so many new resources all the time. And my guys can play Roblox, it sounds like.
Oh, and Rachel, I saw a tip, like I know, I don't know, I'm just kind of experimenting with TikTok and like seeing, I did one yesterday that ended up getting like 60 comments and
Wow.
like a share, like this post, share this post, comment to me. So I'm spending time like giving love to people that commented on my video yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And my followers went up, so I'm at like 234.
Yeah.
But I heard a tip with kids videos. So one way, because I know like your kids love to make, like Eleanor, she loves to make them, but I don't necessarily want them on my like grid, right? Or whatever. So you can actually set them to a private setting so that other people don't see them. The kids, they can have fun with it. You can save them, but then it's, because they don't get a lot of
They don't. No. Yeah, I started making them private because I even realized that like the ones with my kids in them were not getting a lot of views.
Yeah,
So
and actually, TikTok doesn't want kids on the app. Like, so they're like, their algorithm, like if they recognize that it's a kid's face, they just won't show it. So it's anyways, kind of, and like there's lots of, you're looking at who's new following, you're like, okay, like these are, you know,
I have noticed a lot of I have noticed a lot of MLM people over on TikTok now.
Yeah. It's big, right? Yeah. Like even a lot of the top coaches now are doing it. Like, yeah. Cool.
So this is permission for me to spend all day making TikToks?
I think that's permission.
Shut up,
goes
Mike.
fast though. You can go, like you can do them fast, save to drafts, and then you can like kind of have a few to share, right? Yeah.
TikTok and the cricket machine, Rachel, all day, right?
You guys are great at it. It took me 9 years to make one of those things. I'm like, I need a script. I need choreography.
The only one that took a long time was the Savage. That took me a while.
Yeah. All right. No. Back to the power hour, kids.
Sorry.
No worries. I just want to make sure that our newbies aren't getting totally, I don't want to confuse them totally, i.e. Mike. Don't want to confuse you, Mike. Okay, so the next big one is the one that I enjoy the most because I like meeting new people, is to find a big account that is of something of your interest that is not fitness. Because let's be honest, there are a ton of super huge accounts that are fitness people, and the people are not necessarily where we want to be spending our time because people want authentic and real, and we'll get lost in there. So where you want to be is you want to find an account that is of your interest, of your outside interest, that is not fitness related, and it is not a celebrity. The reason is because the idea is that where you go, whatever page you go, are going to be people that are similar to your avatar, your person. Okay, so for example, you really need to establish who you are looking for and the person that you want to spend all your time with, i.e. your friends, because that's where your people will be searching for. So wherever you spend your time scrolling at night and what accounts excite you that you keep kind of going back and forth to, except for Justin Bieber, don't do celebrities. You'll get just a mishmash of people and you won't really get an authentic person that way. An authentic to what you're looking for person. Okay, so you want to find a person, whether it's an interior designer, whether you're into gardening, momming, whatever it is that you want to find your people. And you're going to go to that account. So let's see. I will use I Mom So Hard. They're hysterical. I Mom So Hard. So I'm going to go to I Mom So Hard. And when you have a big account, so they have 368,000 followers. There's enough for everybody to go around. Again, mom market's totally saturated. However, there's going to be your people. There's new followers all the time here. So what you're going to do is you go into their account and you're going to see their most recent post. Okay? You go to their most recent post and you're going to look at the comment section. And really all you're doing is you're just scrolling through the comments, okay? And pick the first comment that speaks to you that you're like, okay, I agree with that, or yeah, that person's speaking my language, and respond to them. Okay. You would have to read the post. So make sure that you know what they're talking about, and take a look at, you can like that particular post. But the idea is that you're responding to a similar human that is on there, okay? A similar human to you. Okay, so take a look. And this one takes a little bit because you might want to go to a couple of their posts. And if not, you can also flip to other big accounts during this time block. So I find I dedicate at least 10 to 15 minutes chunks just to doing this. But this is, to be honest, this is how I've got challengers. So it's a good place to hang out. Okay, so I'm just going to give, let's go 10 minutes. Hey Siri, can you add 10 minutes to my timer, please? I'm on it.
Okay, your timer is set for 10.
Christa, you're amazing. I have to log off, but I will see you guys all this week. Thank you. Bye.
Another like super quick tip, if you're going through these accounts, like right now I'm going through Cat and Nat, and you go on a post that you really resonate with, and you go to like right under it where it says who's liked it, and you just go through, sorry. So these are all the people that like that post. If you're looking for, you know, potential coaches, you're going to look for people that have a ring around their profile picture, because then you know they're pretty active on Instagram and they do stories.
That's our next 10 minutes.
Ah!
So that's awesome. Nope, that's perfect. Good segue. We planned that.
We did. We talked.
Yeah.
I also think I just found my new best friend.
Hey, I know so many besties out there. I know. It's just crazy, the interwebs. Like these kids with super soakers, like that's just the best. There you go, Mike, another post for you. Look at that. It's amazing. So cute.
You guys have to see my work yesterday. Look at this haircut. Show your haircut.
It looks beautiful.
So nice.
Right? Cute.
And easier to brush.
So easy to brush. Yeah, she wanted it like mommy. We took off about like 4 or 5 inches.
The other thing too is just to keep in mind is when you're looking at the little pictures, consider this it's sort of like when you're dating, right? If you walk into a bar, unfortunately, fortunately, you're basing it on the way that people look. So if you see somebody that's got a picture with kids or, you know, a friendly face, that might be somebody that you want to, you know, connect with and pay extra attention to. If it's like, sometimes if I come across like muscly dudes or dudes in like military gear or something like that, it's just not my jam. So I just kind of keep scrolling past them. I'm basically just looking for people that I want to be friends with. And that's not to say that appearance is everything, but you're just going based on the first 10 seconds that you have for an opinion. So for example, I just saw this person here, and they're from Ontario, and they're commenting on the weather. So that spoke to me, because I'm like, I need the sun like stat, right? And you're just starting little conversations. And I'll show you next what if you see somebody that really speaks to you, you'll want to block off this time, or go back and circle back to them. But the idea of a power hour for people is to block your time so that you're doing just that task repetitively over and over for efficiency. You don't want to get caught up in, oh, they have a cute dog, and start going into their feed. It's not about that. You're just going in, commenting, and then getting out. That's really where you can lose a lot of the time. And I'm guilty of that. Setting the timer helps. And I'll just make a comment about the importance of doing this, is that the idea of you spreading positivity and joy and making people feel good about themselves, it's just intrinsic. It just makes you feel good. And at the very least, people are appreciative, and they're going to write you back and say thanks, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with Beachbody whatsoever. This is just being a good human, like legit being a good human. Like, I'm having a blast in here, right? Like one woman's talking about throwing her kid out. Her kid wants to go out in their bathing suit in Pennsylvania and it's like minus whatever. And she's like, I plan on just putting them out there so that they can learn the difference between hot and cold. And that's hysterical to me. Like, you are totally my mom style, right? Not like I would, just disclaimer, just telling you, just in case, you know, people are watching. But I think
recorded, it's being recorded.
Yeah. I think it all the time, but I would never do it right now.
Oh, we're going swimming today. Just as an FYI. No, I'm not.
No,
kidding.
you're not.
Yes, we are.
Jack up the heat.
You're insane.
Hey, Esme, are we going swimming today?
No.
She lies.
It's supposed to be a balmy 13 this afternoon.
I heated it to 96 this morning.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'd be in that pool.
That's amazing.
We just opened it 2 days ago.
And bonus, you're not paying for high peak time hydro either.
Okay, time is up. Okay, so like I said, this is just really just focusing on the early stages of connecting. I'm not spending a whole lot of time on inviting on this one, but I will get to it a quick and easy way. But as far as connections, it's just, these are just a few ways that, that you can do that. So now staying in that person's account, like Rachel said, if you see the red circles around people's faces, that usually indicates that they have Instagram stories. And it's a good place to be for a couple of reasons. One is because you can see if they are a coach as well, or what they're into. And you want to stay in your own lane. If it's a coach, then leave it be. And there's 368 other thousand people that you can be friends with, right? This one takes a little bit more time, I'm finding, because people have more private accounts than ever before. So you do have to give yourself a little bit of time. But I will go to their followers, and they're adding obviously followers all the time. And I'll just scroll through their followers and I'll look to see if somebody has a little circle face, and if somebody speaks to me, and or either of those two. Okay, so I'll just keep going along, and I keep seeing private accounts. So this is where I have to really work hard at it. But I'm just looking for friends. So I keep going along, and the idea of you finding friends is because you're going to trick the algorithm or trip it up so that they will start looking at your stories, right? And that's the idea, is that you want as many eyes as possible. But what I want to do is I got a tip from, I don't remember what coach it was, to be honest. But basically, more than ever, a lot of people are on MLMs right now, and I think people get a little bit weirded out by it. And I don't like being that person. So what I do is I'll do a 311, as the experienced coaches know, and I'll explain that for the new coaches. I'll do a 311, but what I will do is I follow it with one step further, and I go right into their inbox and I say, I know you don't know me, and I try to take the edge off. I know you don't know me, but I just wanted to say that you bring such positivity in your stories, and you look like you're living the best life. I just wanted to, say thanks for brightening up my feed today, and, hope you have a great day. And I'll say something like that. And the amount of people that respond back to me and just say, you know what, you just made my day. I would say there's probably a 75% return rate on people saying, you know what, I really appreciated you making that comment, right? And that's it. And we just go about our day. And now that's one extra person that I've got into their messages. It's one other person that I've connected with, and I will put them on a potential follow-up, or they'll be a part of my, hey, just, checking in to see how they're doing. Okay. So sorry, I went a little bit fast there, and I'm going to just go back for, actually, I think Amelia is gone. So hey, experienced coaches. I'm just going to walk through it so that the newbies have it. Okay. So if you go to one person, you're going to do a 3-1-1. So that is, you're going to find a person that is not my person. That would have been danger. She was all like, not really my person. So I'm going to look for a person. Okay. And I'm going to like 3 of their images that speak to me. I'm not going to force it. She's got a beautiful site. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to give her a heart through her account, give her other feed or her other images a heart. And then I'm going to pick one that speaks to me. And I'm going to leave a comment. I'm going to say, your photography is beautiful. So I've left her a comment. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into her, right into her messages. And what's going to happen is on her end, she's going to see me liking. She's going to see that comment. And then she's going to get my message that says, you're so inspiring. So I'll type in what I write. And I'll set the timer. This one, like I said, you're going into people on a big account. So ideally, these people have same common interests as you. I would spend a solid 10 minutes doing it because a lot of accounts are set to private. So I'm going to set the timer. I would normally set it for 10 minutes, but I'm just going to set it for 6 minutes just so we can be efficient. And then I want to show just another way of how to invite. So set the timer for 6 minutes, please, Siri. Hey Siri, set timer for 6 minutes.
Okay, 6 minutes.
Oh, I cut Siri off. That was rude.
Hello.
I shortcut this one too. I put this one in my keyboard shortcuts so that I just have to type in the subject. I just type in, I can't even remember mine. Oh, I use YDKM. You don't know me. That's my shortcut.
Sarah, can you do me a quick favor?
Yeah.
Can you go look up this person on Instagram?
Okay.
Her name is #MamaLife, one word, with an extra E on the end.
Okay.
So #MamaLife.
How come I'm Zoom?
Is she selling something?
Mama Life 11? No.
No, #MamaLife, all one word, with the extra E on the end.
It doesn't come up for me.
Maybe it's private, sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't come up with me when I search that.
Okay, thanks.
So I just included in my chat, like I said, I will usually do a, like 3 of their posts. I will comment on one, and then I will give them a follow. And one last thing that I will do is I leave this note that I put in chat. Alternatively, if I don't have time to comment on one of their posts and I'm just hammering it out and I just want to get some connections, I just lead in with that. I make sure that I like a couple of their posts just so that it obviously is authentic, because otherwise I wouldn't have stumbled upon them, right? So I just say, I know you don't know me, but I stumbled upon your page and wanted to tell you that you have such positive vibes. You look like you're having such a great time. Sorry, typo. The positive vibes are so inspiring. Thank you for sharing, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And then I put that in my keystroke and I use it as YDKM. And then every time I use that, I just drop it. So like I said, I'm having a more difficult time going through private accounts, like hitting up private accounts. So I just spend longer finding the ones that are open, because otherwise that wouldn't make sense, right? Vitamin C delivery. Okay. We just have a couple minutes left, but I just wanted to show people really quickly. Sorry, my timer's going to go in like 14 seconds, so I'll just beat it. I just wanted to show people really quickly a way to invite. So like I said, because this is for new people, they're looking to build up connections and do it in an authentic way. The next way would be how to invite. And if you're following the business activity tracker, you're obviously going to reduce the number of activities that you do just for connecting, and then you'll do an invite and then your follow-ups. But for this, I'm just going to show you a quick way to do some inviting through your stories. And think of it this way, and I think the best way, that the analogy that was given to me for inviting is, think of it like a party, right? You wouldn't have a party without knowing what you're going to offer, right? So if you're going to have a party and you're going to host a bunch of people at your house, you're going to make sure, you're going to know what food you're going to serve. You're going to know what time and date the party is going to be, anything that you would put on an invitation. I'm an invitation junkie, so these are the things, right? So whatever you're putting on your invitation, think of it that as what you're inviting to. If you don't know what you're inviting to, then it obviously makes it a lot more difficult to invite to something, right? You wouldn't say, hey, do you want to just come over to an undisclosed time and an undisclosed thing? I don't even know if I'm going to feed you or not. Like, you wouldn't, right? And then the other thing, the reason why you're inviting is because it would be similar to, and somebody used this analogy of putting out a party on your Facebook or on your Instagram, but not actually inviting people to it. So it would be similar to this. Hey, I'm having a party. And you splash it all over, but you don't actually say anything about it. So that's what inviting is, right? If you go to your stories, this is a comfortable way of making sure that you're inviting to people that they're already following you anyway, and they love you unconditionally. So they're obviously following you for some reason, and that's a less, less uncomfortable way of inviting to start. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to your own stories. I tend to pick ones that have my workout videos because I find that it's a good lead in. And I will go to the scene at the bottom and I click that. So these are all the people that have specifically seen my workout video. I know what I'm inviting to. I'm having a challenge on, we're going to start on May 4th. I know that I'm going to do the round, 10 rounds again. So that is something that I can lead right into. And I see all of these people. I see you, Rachel. I see you seeing me. You see all these people that are watching you. Okay. So I scroll to somebody and I will invite them. Okay. So I will go directly to the little airplane. And when you click that little airplane, your image is going to show up in their messages with your video. So it's very direct, right? It's like you're speaking to this point, okay? And I'm going to say, hey, would love to have you. Are you free to join me May 4th? Okay, simple, very simple. Or I might say this particular person has been watching me already and I know that, so I'm going to say, hey, want to do this with me May 4th? Hey, do you want to look like a badass like me? Anything, right? Any comment that is leaving a question open that they have to respond. If they give you any objection at all, I write it down. So I'll put their name down. I'll say what it is that they had an objection of, whereas they didn't have enough time, they were busy, they're not going to the gym right now, and I just write that down so that in the future I can go back and say, oh, hey, I'm starting this new program. I know the gyms are closed right now. How about now, right? So that's a good follow-up. We're past my time, so I just wanted to point that out, but I would usually give a solid 5 to 10 minutes of inviting a day. So there's that. And then the last point for the new people when they're rewatching this is to make sure that you follow up. The key really is when you invite people to something and they are not necessarily able to do it, they might be able to be, their schedule might allow for it later on. And so what I do is I'll just write their name, the date that I asked them in a month. So I have, like this one, for example, this was my February. I will go back and give them a couple of months or a new challenge that might be, speaking to them. And I will say, hey, I know that, that you're a big kickboxing person and the gyms are closed right now. I was wondering if now is a good time you want to come and join me. Just simple. Okay. You likely don't have any questions, kids, because you are seasoned professionals. But
no, I want to say that was awesome because you know that I'm like you, like I love to bring people joy, and I think you should run our power hours every week.
So cute. I talk too much, but today was really truly was about teaching new people how to do it, right? So it takes a little bit of time, but thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah.